Hey, folks, it's Dave back here in Studio B, and a little chat tonight here. I wanted to talk about a couple things that come up this week. Good things. Okay, and I want to talk about the community. I guess is the best way to put it. I should probably make a banner for that while I'm thinking about it here. Um, is this the community here with the show, with my YouTube channel, spilling over into Facebook and also into to Delphi, I guess you could say. Um, there's a growing community here, whether we know it or not. And what kind of sparked this was a few things that happened this week. Okay, and they're all good. They're all good. Okay, by the way. Um, but some things you might not know is Ron and myself uh, have been doing this show now for almost 4 years, and we'll be starting year five this summer. But some things you don't know is the communications that we have within the community. As Jeff stops by, hi Jeff. Whereas I would say on a daily basis, almost a daily basis, either myself or Ron or both of us are contacted by people in the community for help, advice, whatever. Okay. Lately, it's been the APA hockey helper, the Excel helper. I've been getting a lot of requests for that. Sometimes people want the score sheets. So some people, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? As Michael stops by as well. And so, we do the show. It's like an hour, a week show, hour podcast, plus whatever YouTube we got here. But we spend hours a week with emails and Facebooks and text lines and Delphi and YouTube messages. We spend a lot of time going back and forth with the community, and it's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing. I'm not complaining. It's a good thing. But that's one thing that you probably didn't know about myself and Ron is that we get, because we do the show, because we have YouTube channels. People come to us first for a lot of help. Where do I get the logos? How do I put in this? How do I set up that? How do I change the colors? So we get hit up with a lot of that as Turbo stops by as well. But it's a two-way street. It really is, because I mentioned that I was going to get the Appa golf game, and I got it ordered, and it should be in Monday. I'm kind of hoping Sunday. Kind of hoping it comes in a little bit earlier because I'm dying to play that game. Uh, but I mentioned that I was going to play it, and last night ID Jester goes on, and ID does a Appa golf video specifically for me, and that was in the title, Appa golf for Dave. And that was quite flattering that someone would be willing to take the time to put together a video for me. And I know I've done a lot of videos for other people, and so was Ron, but it's different when someone does it for you. It's really weird because I'm so used to as Andrew stops by, I'm so used to being the one doing the giving that when someone gives back, it's very humbling. And so ID actually did two videos. He did one around supper time, a little after supper. Then he did one later on, and I caught probably most of both of them. And I was watching him play, and I was chatting with him. And then I turn around, and Gilles Thibault, friend of the show, he's been on the show a couple times. He did a Apple Golf video for me too, specifically for me, showing some basic gameplay. That was truly, truly humbling here, that the community would do that. That they would, so that must mean they watched the show, because how else would they know I'm getting uh, the Apple golf game? But these two people in the community went out of their way to try to help me figure out the Apple golf, and I don't even have it yet. So it's not like I have any questions or I've run into any problems. I don't have it yet, you know. And so they went out of their way to do that for me, and that was, I just want to first of all thank them. That was pretty unbelievable. Is Tebow. Yeah, Tebow did one for me too. Yeah, ID and Tebow, they both did. Yes, they did. Um, I'm sitting there last night watching on my iPad. I got ID Jester on the iPad, and I'm going. Like I said, I was watching ID live. When he got done, I went to the Tebow video, and I got the Maple Leafs game on right on the TV. So I'm sitting there with the iPad and the Maple Leafs, and my phone starts going off. I'm like, hey, what's going on there? And so somebody on the text line, listener of the show on the text line, sends me a message, and he goes, are you still getting the app of golf? And I said, yeah, it should be here Monday. And he says, I don't play it anymore. And he goes, I'd like to send you a couple of the seasons I have. And whatever I have for Apple Golf, I'd like to send you because it's just too long for me. It's not my thing. I like the shorter games. I was floored by this. And I was like, do you want some money? Can I at least pay ship? He's like, nope. He goes, your videos will just been so helpful for me. And they've really got me through some things that I just want to do this for you. And I was blown away by this. I was blown away by this because, again, usually I'm the one that's, sending off the files or doing the videos and showing you how to do stuff or, whatever it is. It's just what I do, and I don't mind doing it. I'm usually the one giving. But, last night I get, Tebow and ID Jester and another listener to the show. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't know if he wants it mentioned or not. But just give me your address and I'll send off the app of stuff I got. So he's sending me a course that I don't have because I don't have any right now, but it's not one I ordered. And a couple of seasons and like 2 or 3 seasons and like a whole bunch of Apple Golf stuff. And I was just, holy cow. So there I am. I'm watching ID's video. And then after that, I'm watching Tebow's video and my phone goes off and I pick it up over here. And someone's like, hey, I just, saw your last show. I listened to the last show and I'm not playing Apple Golf. Would you like what I have? And he goes, this is just for you for everything that you've done. I was blown away by that. I really was. As ID stops by. And I was blown away by this, And it was only a few weeks ago that another listener of the show contacted me. I think he contacted me through Facebook, actually. I don't even know if we're friends, but he sent me a message, as you can do. And he says, hey, he goes, I got a whole bunch of Apple baseball seasons I'm not going to play. Would you like some of the older ones? I know you like the dead ball stuff with the spiders. How would you like that? And he just sent them to me. And again, blown away. I just really was because, I'm used to being the one doing the work and helping the people. And then all of a sudden, people just, they're just like, I'm just going to send them to you. I've enjoyed so much of your videos and so much of your shows. And it just, the community thing just, and it probably because we just come out of the APA show talking community last Saturday night. The sense of community, whether you like it or not, or whether you realize it or not, it's there. Okay. And let me see what else we got here. Brandon says, Tebow's got some good stuff. He's looking for his Master Appa baseball installment with Replay Gaming. Yeah. And I will like Apple Golf. I think I will like Apple Golf. I think I will. But hang on, I'm having a moment here. Oh, by the way, I got my Shane Falco jersey on. It's the first time I've had a chance to wear my Shane Falco jersey. And, the replacements, they all came together. And that's kind of what this whole talk's about. It's about coming together, as a community and doing things for each other. And going above and beyond because he didn't have to send me the baseball seasons, okay? And this other guy, he did not have to offer me his Appa stuff. He could have, thrown it away or sold it or whatever. But he said, look, I'm not going to do it. He goes, your videos have helped me play some other games, and I like playing these shorter games. I'm not going to play the Apple Golf. They're yours. As a thank you. And it's just every now and then that happens. Somebody will send me a message and say, hey, look, I saw that you're playing this, or here you're looking to play that. I don't play it anymore. Can I just send it to you? I mean, Tebow did that in the beginning. He sent me a whole bunch of Apple stuff. Tebow is still sending me stuff, okay? It just seems like I go to the mail and there's always something from Tebow out there for me. And it's just quite flattering. And there's a couple people that this is the only conversation I've ever had with them was just a quick, hey, thank you for everything. Let me send you something. And it's just completely unexpected. It really is. And Jeff says, yeah, maybe, I'd like to think that myself and Ron, I mean, we're just part of the community here helping out, but I mean, it's just kind of flattering when people reach out to you and do stuff. Like I say, I get ID and Tebow doing videos for me. so I can hit the ground running with golf. And then now I got a course and a couple of seasons coming in, and it was just so damn cool. What does ID say? It's because you give back, Dave. You inspired me to get back and try History Maker Golf again later tonight once I get it set up. So you get what you deserve. That is so true. Yeah, again, the one thing I will say, where you got stuck, because I watched that video again, ID of you playing golf. Where you got stuck is when you went down the line and then it had the star. If it had said go to the open star, you would have been all set. You would have flipped the page, saw the open star, and then finished the hole. That's how close you came to finishing that hole. And I think if you did that, you would have finished the hole and you would have continued on. Because I think there's a open star and then there's a filled in star or a closed star, if you will. But that's the one thing that the play, sometimes they just assume that you're going to go to the star. But when I followed you along, it says, yeah, I would have been lost too. But because I maybe I watched a video that someone did that I knew where to go. But yeah, with the play thing, it always comes to a conclusion. So sometimes you got to look for a symbol. Sometimes it doesn't tell you to go to that chart. But on that particular case, you were looking for the open star chart. Sometimes you go to the I don't know if it's the camera or the gallery, but I mean, because I pulled out my golf book and I went through that. I says, oh, if it had just said go to open star, you would have got it and been done with it, but instead you were stuck, and I can see exactly why you got stuck with that. But I'm glad you're going to give that another chance, because that is kind of fun. But anyways, Dwayne Mott stopped by, and Todd coming by. It's called Karma. You have helped so many. So I thank you. I appreciate that, Todd. I do. Because you have no idea. And again, I'm not complaining, but you have no idea that the amount of conversations we have with people, and I would say it's daily. It's got to be daily that we get an email or a Facebook or a YouTube, and it's like, can you help me with something? I think I've sent out 4 or 5 of the APBA Hockey Excel helpers this week. That's just some of it. And some people thank you and some people don't. It's kind of funny, because I always say, hey, here it is. Let me know how it works out. And I would say 90% of them never get back to me and said anything. So, I mean, but it is what it is. We hopefully we help them, and hopefully they're enjoying their spreadsheet with the hockey, because I think it works really well. But anyways, it was just totally blown away, last night when I had people actually doing stuff for me, and but that's how it works. That's how the community works is sometimes it's, myself taking the lead, and sometimes it's someone else taking the lead. And sometimes it's I do something for somebody does something for me. And that's how it goes. And so there's so many aspects to the community thing here. Is everybody's pitching in, it seems like. And a Replay Gamer had a terrific chat with Baseball Demos. I get up the other morning and I saw that on YouTube, and it was like about an hour long. And I put it on while I was doing things around the house. I listened to the whole thing. It was great. And I love stuff like that. Nice to see that people are getting together and chatting about things and the whole bit. So that was great. I really, really enjoyed that. And Beatles stopped by. Boy, you've been streaming like a fiend lately. I pop in now and then. I don't chat too much, but I pop in every now and then. And yes, it was a great interview with John Harrison and Tebow at APBA. Yes, it was. It was a great one. And Todd says that I got him through APBA hockey. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, well, I like to share my experiences of what I've learned. And, not that I'm always right with everything. Some of my early videos were terrible. I need to take them down because they were so bad. But if I figure something out, or I found a good way to do something, or, whatever it is, I like to share that. And APBA hockey down deep is a good game. But even John Herson admitted on the show here that he said hockey is probably the most difficult one to learn. And I would agree with that. Of the APBA games I've played, I haven't played that many of them, so but the hockey has been difficult, and it's just because it's written weird. The instructions are written weird, where it's, hey, to clear the puck, look at the clearing rate and roll the dice, and if it's a negative number, no, don't make it a negative number. No, just say roll the dice, and if the defenseman clearing ratings meet or beat the dice roll, you've successfully cleared the puck. That's the way to do it. You don't roll the dice and say subtract the clearing, and if it's a negative number, then it's this. That's very confusing. So a lot of the things in the APA instruction manual I just worded weird. And that's why I've done several videos and try to clarify some things, trying to simplify some things that just don't need to be that difficult and cumbersome. And I try to share that. And for the most part, people have enjoyed that and got some help out of that. And well, I look at how many APA Excel spreadsheets I've sent out. I've sent out a lot of them. I'm not going to say how many, but I sent out a lot of them. So that means that there's a lot of people playing APA hockey, and hopefully this helps them play the game. So when I discover things, I try to share, as we all do. I mean, a lot of people in the community, they do something, they want to share it, and that's how we all learn. I mean, I've watched just about every APA golf video there is out there. Anybody that's made an APA golf video, I've watched it, even if it's just a commentary. And there's not a lot of people out there doing it, but there's enough. But I've watched them all. And so if two guys made APA videos and no one else did because, well, there's already APA videos out there, well, that doesn't help me a lot, because I want to see as many as I can, because you might do it this way and this guy might do it this way and someone else might do it a little bit differently. And so if I watch them all, now I can take them all in. And, again, it's like three people helping you out here. And now you get three different opinions. And, maybe some people do it a little bit different. Or what I like to do is find out, when I watch different videos, I like to see how many things they do the same, because then I know that's consistently correct. Because some people, they do things a little bit different, or maybe one's playing a basic game, one's playing a master game. So when people are doing things consistently, then I know it's right. Because I was watching Tebow play, and then I watched ID last night, and then I was watching TC and Emch, if I said his name correctly. And they all were doing certain things exactly the same. So I knew that's how to do that. And there was a couple things that they might have done a little differently. So maybe someone was using basic and someone was using master or advanced or whatever it is. But the more videos, the better. It really is. So when the community puts out a bunch of videos in a game you haven't played, it helps out. I've been chatting on Facebook with somebody about Hockey Bones. We've been going back and forth. He's like, hey, what about this? What about that? And I've been giving him some advice on this and giving some advice on that, to a point where, at some point I wouldn't mind if he wanted to jump on StreamYard and I could walk him through it. And I would do that with APA too. I don't mind that, because I think it's fun helping people play these games. And sometimes it just takes that little bit of effort and see people go, oh, I get it now. But right out of the gate, sometimes you just, you don't quite understand things. But, when you get some help, you get some help. Andrew says the APA interviews are excellent. Well done. Yeah, they come out well. And Steve Tower comes by. Is this a discussion about Community, the TV show? Is that a Nickelodeon show, Steve? Come on, man. No, I'm just talking about how last night, while I was sitting there watching the hockey game, I had a ID live on my iPad, and he was playing APA golf, and he was kind of doing it for me, showing how to play some APA golf. And then I get done with that, and Tebow had just uploaded a video playing some basics. I was like, what's it between basic and regular? Tebow did a basic APA golf video for me. And it was so humbling. It was so humbling. And then while I'm sitting there, someone texted the Dice line and said, I'm watching your shows and I like your shows, but I don't play APA golf anymore. I'd like to send you everything I have for APA golf. So he's got a course and some seasons and whatever. I'm like, holy cow. It was so nice to have people do stuff for you. It's humbling. I didn't know what to say. And then he just said that, that through the pandemic years, so he's been listening for a while. He says that the shows that Ron and I did and the videos that I did, it helped him get through those dark days. And I still forget from time to time that we did that back in, April of 2020, we went 6 or 7 weeks of every single night here doing a show. And we still get feedback on that. And that's been 3 years now? Because it's 2023. It's been 3 years since we did those live shows. And people still comment on how important that was to them getting it through it. And so I wrote back to him today. I says, hey, I'll be honest with you. Me doing these shows back in April of 2020 and May of 2020, that helped me get through it just by doing these shows. And then he responded he goes, you have no idea how many people you guys helped or appreciated what you did. And we probably don't. And I told Ron that today. I said, Ron, this is the message we got. And I says, I have no idea. He goes, yeah, again, we don't talk to every single person that listens to the show or whatever, but every now and then we get that feedback, and someone will say, you have no idea how many people appreciate what you do. And that's humbling too. That is just, and it makes me feel like we're doing something good here, like we're doing something good for the community. It's kind of our part in things, so to speak. And when someone reaches out to you and says, hey, I want to send you some of my stuff that, either I don't play anymore, or whatever it is, I have extra, I see you playing this, or I'd like to send this to you, and I don't want any money because your videos have just given me so much enjoyment and help, or whatever it is. It's there's times Ron and I think, geez, do we still want to do this show? And is anybody enjoying this anymore? I mean, should we continue? And then you get messages like that, and there's a lot of people out there that don't write in, that don't say anything, but they watch or they listen, and it's important to them. It's just they don't reach out. And so what do they call that? The silent majority or something like that. So every now and then we get an email, or we have a conversation with somebody that kind of just puts things in perspective. And it's pretty unbelievable when that happens. Let me see here. Ron McGrath is stopping by. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's Ron first, and then Fainer 27. After listening to you talk about Apple Golf, I might have to get that golf game as well. That and History Maker Golf. Yeah, they're two different games, and why I really want to play the Apple Golf, because I want to like set my aim mark and work the ball, curve it in, but then when you roll the dice, you see the magic that happens, and there's no guesswork. It's not like what happened. It's there. It is. So that's why I want to do app. But now the History Maker Golf, it's not really a shot by shot, but it's you tee off on every hole, and then you putt. Once in a while, you might have an extra shot in there somewhere to see how close to the pin you get. But that's just kind of you roll the dice, you tee off, you see if the course controls the ball, or if you control the ball. Then you check your qualities, or you check the course to see what kind of putt you set up. That's how that one goes. So it plays a lot faster. It really does. And so that's why you can play like a whole tournament there, whether the app is shot by shot by shot. And there's a lot of figuring out, and probably just because I'm a numbers guy, that's why I wanted to do the app of golf. And I'm looking at it for the longest time. I'm like, why do I want to play this? It's like, what do they call that? Grid paper or something like that, with just all these grids over a golf course. Like, what's so fun about that? But the more I watch, it's like the challenge is there to, where am I going to hit it? And what kind of dice roll am I going to get? Where am I going to end up? And how am I going to get out of this jam? So the shot by shot thing intrigues me. That's why I wanted to get the Apple Golf. Turbo says, those chats really cemented, bonded our community. It might have. It might have. Because the person I was talking to last night and this morning said that it got him back into the gaming. And he was working his job, I think he said at night, and this and that. And just us talking about it got him excited about it, and showed him other games too. And so it's kind of like unintended consequences, I guess. We start talking about games, and we don't know who's played these or who hasn't. A lot of these, everyone knows APBA, but maybe not everybody's played APBA Golf. Well, I'm going to try it now, and I'll give you my opinion, and I'll place them here on the table and show you what I think about it. And that's what I like to do when I get new games, is do things like that. Finner says, if it wasn't for the videos, my videos, whatever, I wouldn't be into sports sims. And I've heard that from people too. I've heard some people that, they discovered the podcast, and they discovered the channel here, and it got them back into it. And I can see how that'd be possible, because every now and then I'm on YouTube and I find like a video game. It's like, oh man, I should go put that video game in, because I haven't played that in forever, and I really enjoyed that. And I'll go put the game in and maybe play a little bit or whatever. So yeah, I can see how that, you see someone enjoying themselves, and you want to go and you want to play that as well. Let's see. Let's see. VL. Well, I'm sorry, I already did that one. You guys need to keep the shows going. It connects what few of us in the community. It connects what few of us in the community together, or maybe keeps everybody together. Okay. He says he's sitting there drinking a beer, playing his OOTP with the Phillies Red Sox on too. I do that too. When someone's on, I always have something on. Usually I'll have the radio on, I'll put on the hockey game on satellite radio or something, so I'll listen to it while I'm playing. Because if you have TV on, it's kind of distracting. So the radio, you can kind of play it in the background, or if somebody's playing a game here, like I say, if ID's playing a game, or anybody else is on here, I'll put them on and just kind of listen while I play my game. So I do the same thing too. I like to play and listen to people in the community. I'd rather watch and listen to people here in the community play the games, tabletop games, or even computer games, rather just watch some stupid TV show. I'd rather invest my time into something that I'm interested in. And that's why, like I said, sometimes I'll stream a game too and just open up a chat room. Hey, come on in and hang out. And a lot of people are playing their own games while they have me on, and I do the same thing. So it's really kind of fun. Andrew says, I'm pretty new, but I have really enjoyed your videos and podcasts with Ron. He bought Stone Cold Hockey after seeing the videos. Oh, Stone Cold is such a fun game. I actually, with some help from Scott Long, you need to find Scott Long. He's on Delphi. And I think he's a Patreon member too. Yeah, because he's in Discord. Yeah, he's in Discord. And he helps me a lot with the custom teams. And he did I have a 4-team ice hockey league, 4 teams. And he did that for me, and I played out the playoffs, and that was kind of fun. And he showed me how to do my roller hockey league, so that's in there. So you can customize anything you want with that. So Scott's the man to reach out for. Yeah, he's on Discord. Yeah, he's in the Digital to Dice Discord. Yeah, reach out to Scott Long, and he's so good with that. He knows all about that. He did the Olympics, and he did the '87 summits, not summits. There's something else. He did that, and it's really great. I need to play more of that because that game is so fun. I prefer the card and dice version. I do. I think I like that a little bit better because I'm in a cards and dice tabletop kind of phase right now, if you will. There's times I love my computer stuff, but lately I've been really enjoying the table games, rolling the dice and getting my hands dirty. And I think that's why the app of golf has me intrigued right now, because I really want to dig down in there. I don't want any computer telling me what to do. I just want to figure it out myself. And that's half the fun is learning these things and figuring it out, Let's see. Jeff says, your hockey show with ID and Tebow led me being to a regular on the shows with ID's War Room. Yes, and there's a spillover. ID does a lot of different stuff besides sports. I do once in a while. It's mostly the sports stuff, but every once in a while I'll pull out a different game just to kind of branch out a little bit. I still have a whole segment I want to do on old video games, like classic video games, especially the hockey ones, and like review those and just have those up on the channel there. So I like to do some different things from time to time. But yeah, the war game. I'm looking into the war games. I haven't played much war gaming, but they look very interesting. I've been looking a lot of solo gaming stuff. I've been scrounging YouTube, and is this going to be a good game? I don't know about that. How about that game? So I haven't found the right one yet to play as far as a single solo game. But yeah. That's another thing to do. Well, hang on one second here, folks. I just gotta zip this off. Hang on one second here. Thrilling radio here. Let's see here. And ID says, we attract the best people around, willing to help out, give back, and it's just great to be great people. I experienced that last year when I went through your cancer surgery. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. A lot of people were very concerned about you, and like we're all chatting around and the whole bit. Speak of the devil. Hi, Ron.
What the hell do you do now? You get some sort of award or something like that?
What now? Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Oh, fine. So what the hell do you do now? You get some sort of award or something like that?
No, I was just talking about how flattered I was last night watching the hockey game and ID streaming a golf game.
Yep, for you. Yeah,
for me.
For a couple streams for you, yeah.
And then I get done, and Tebow uploaded one for me.
Yep.
And while I'm watching these, the phone went off, and someone who watches the show, said he wanted to send me his app of golf stuff because he doesn't play it anymore, and he just wanted to say that's his way of saying thanks for all that we've done. And I'm just kind of blown away by the community. And not that I'm shocked by this. I'm not shocked by this. Like ID said, we attract good people.
Yes, we do.
99% of the people in this community are good people, and they'll try to help you out in the whole bit. And I was just telling about how, most of the time it's you and me.
Right.
How many emails do we get a day on Digital to Dice? It's, hey, do you got the app of help? Or, hey, do you got any?
You
this?
get another one today.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We're always answering questions, and you talk to people all the time on the side as well
It's
about
just what I was doing. I was actually doing some stuff for the OOTP Perfect Leagues. I didn't see you come on, so I was doing a chatting about that and getting ready for another tournament, and I'm tied for first place in my league. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
have a playoff run and a promotion coming up. So yeah, that's what I've been doing tonight.
yeah. But I was just saying that you and me, or me and you, whatever you want to say, you and I, we're always in contact with people in the community, and
Absolutely, every
we're
day,
usually the one
every day.
helping. We're usually the one helping other people. So along with the show that we do in our own videos, we spend a lot of time during the week, hours during the week, you know, trying to help other people if we can, whatever
Yes,
it is. Can you send me a file? I don't know how many of my football mats or my hockey mats I've sent out too. They weren't even mine, but they're like, "Hey, just send me what you got." So I'll send you what I got. No
sure.
problem. We're always willing to help out. But it was just really nice when someone turned around and said that. And then when he said that, we got him through a lot of the bad
Yeah,
times of
that
2020.
was pretty heartwarming.
It was like, wow, that was 3 years ago, and people still talk about
By
that.
the way, I'm done eating for the day, just in case you wondered.
Let's see. David C says, you and Ron have introduced me to so many games I would never known or seen before. Thank you for that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, David, though? I mean, it's great that you found new games, but, I've done the same thing. We just keep spending the money there.
Yeah, there's games I never thought I'd even see.
But
Yeah.
it's like Tebow. When Tebow was playing, I think he was doing the golf game last night for me, or it was another video that Tebow did. And he said, look, he goes, I don't have a Corvette. He goes, I don't travel the world. This is what I do. I play tabletop games. I'm in a great community of people, and I buy games and I buy seasons. That's what I spend my money on.
I've spent $300 on vet bills in the last couple of weeks for
Oh,
this thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah. Well, speaking about that, ID says we need to do a stream for the banner, the underdog story.
I haven't looked at eBay for a while. I've wanted an old NBC banner for a while. The CBS one was just too huge.
Yeah, that was a big boy.
But the ABC one, despite the fact it hates me, it's my trophy over here. Some people have deer heads. Some people have stuffed fish or bears. I have an ABC Sports banner from the late '80s.
That other banner though, it's undefeated against you. So
the CBS banner, I think it would kill me.
Yeah, the ABC banner. That's the one. See, you still have it hanging on the wall. I don't know. It's like looking at you right now. It really
is. Sarah's put like 5 packs in a clothespin, so it's
ain't going anywhere.
It's restrained.
SJ Walk 2 says, here's a real esoteric game. It's a rugby board game from Lamburn Games, now sold by Ozat, called Between the Posts. Anybody heard of it or played it?
I've never played it, Steve, but I have done their motorsport game, which I'll be featuring on the channel sometime in the next few weeks. And it basically is like a highlight game, I would say. If you're familiar with their soccer game, the Beautiful Game, it actually is like decks of cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's something similar to that. It's part of his five. If you roll a 5, bad things happen. If you roll a 6, good things happen.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the tennis game is like that too.
Okay. Andrew says he loves your
thank you
baseball stuff there. Yep. No, that's good stuff there. VL says you guys on the podcast video should talk to Sylvan, the guy who does the 3D ballparks for OOTP. That would be an interesting.
That's some serious artwork. I've seen some of the ones.
Oh, jeepers, yeah. Some of that stuff is gorgeous.
The older stuff is Chris Slovic doing his Creator Cup thing. I saw some of the stills from Three Rivers.
Okay.
It's amazing. So on the left scoreboard is a tribute to Roberto Clemente, and
nice.
Oh yeah, just really amazing stuff.
But it's just getting back to the community. Oh, by the way, Ron, I don't know if you saw this. I got my.
I didn't realize you and Edie Falco were that close.
Shane Falco.
Oh, Shane Falco.
Shane Falco. This is the Replacements.
Oh, I thought it was Edie from The Sopranos.
No, this is Shane Falco. Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
one of the best football movies out there, I would say. Feel good movie, and these guys kind of
I
came
was looking
together.
at that and I'm going, that's not
Yep.
Grogan.
No, it's
No,
not even Plunkett.
no, no.
But
But back to the
anyway,
comedian. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I saw that you were on, so
yeah. So just talking about the community there, because like I say, a lot of the times it's me and you reaching out to other people and helping
right.
them, and they contact us and whatever. But every now and then, somebody contacts us and does something nice for us. You got that OOTP thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Brent, I'll give him first name, and that's who I was talking to for the last half hour or so. So
And it's just, and then from time to time we have people contact us and say, hey, would you like to, beta test my game, or what do you think about this and the whole bit, or give me your feedback. And it's just nice. Like I said, the community that we're in, it's just, sometimes, I mean, I don't want to say I'm surprised by this because everyone's really good, but when it happens, it's so cool. It's so humbling when somebody does something, for us, let's say,
Mhm.
and or wants our opinion, or whatever it is. It's a special feeling, and it kind of makes like all this worth it. The 4 years that we've been doing all the videos, all the emails, anytime, comments on YouTube, hey, this, that, and the other thing. I try to help them out the best I can. I can't always, but sometimes I do.
No, no, but
We don't have all the answers. That's the thing is we'll do a video, we'll talk about something, and people say, hey, well, how do you do this and X, Y, and Z? It's like, well, I don't know. Someone asked me the other day about the mods for Pro Strategy Football. I says, and I did that video a while ago about the game, and I said, I'm really not the guy to ask
reach
about the
out
mods.
to Super Bowl tournament. Mike
Yeah.
Truck is what we call him. If you belong to the group, it's Michael Jabral on Facebook. He will be glad to help you out.
But so that's what I said. I said, I'm not the guy for that. But if you just search around for Pro Strategy Football mods, Al's done one, and Mike from the truck has done them. So they're out there, and they're doing it better than I could. So we don't have all the answers. And VL says he'd like a comparison of baseball sim video games. Well, I guess that's something we could maybe talk about at some point. Go over the different video
Was
PC
it
games.
our friend Bernie Strom said there are 72 baseball games on the market?
I think there's more than that. I figured it'd be close to 100. But as far as the PC one goes, I know I got 4 or 5 or 6 PC baseball games.
Oh,
anyway.
goodness, I must have. Yeah,
there might be 20 PC baseball games.
My games have games.
Yeah, this is true. ID says, does anyone have a thought on best new game that has come out in, say, the last 4 years or so? Just wondering if there's something I need to get.
Digital Diamond.
Yeah, Digital Diamond's pretty good because it has the companion, and you can
play any game you want with it, essentially.
And all the seasons are included. You don't have to buy a season; it's all included. So, Digital Diamond version 11 for $20 or $25. Yeah, if you're a baseball person, yeah, that's the way to go. Because you can. Oh, he says he's got Digital Diamond. Okay.
Yeah, that would be it, because you could play, because ID plays a lot of cards and dice too. You can play them all with them.
Yeah. What I do like about it is sometimes you get out of nowhere somebody creates a game, and sometimes it just takes me a while to find, like the season ticket baseball.
You love that game, yeah.
I love that game. I kind of knew it was there and didn't think anything of it, but because it was free to try, I tried it and I was like, oh yeah, this game.
I wish Clay would promote it more.
Yeah, I really do. Because that's such a good game to do. It's fun to play. It's advanced. It can get really advanced. If you want, season ticket gets super, super advanced. It's unbelievable. I pick and choose from that there, but it's really fun. I got that game to flow very nicely on my tabletop.
I would think for games that have come out in the last couple of years, and I'm sure ID has them both, but Pocket Pennant, because that
Pocket Pennant runs is another fun little game, game,
and it has
all the seasons. Yep.
And Stone Cold Hockey.
Stone Cold Hockey. Yes, that's another good one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Now they just released Dice United 2, right? Or they're getting ready for Dice United 2.
If you pre-ordered, you have it.
Okay.
Philip Reynolds is I believe got the charts today.
Okay.
And I'm trying to score a PDF to try that out, because Stone Cold Hockey was primarily based on Dice United, which was based off of, which I did not know until last night, Quick Fixtures Football.
Okay.
So kind of like a final, I think close to a final score, or maybe an ultra quick from Downey type deal. And then what Gary Brown learned, yeah, look into it. ID. It's a fast game. It tells a good story.
Yep.
It's
cards and dice.
It's cards and
dice. There's
dice.
a PC version.
And the footprint is very small. So when he made Stone Cold Hockey, he based it initially off of Dice United, but based on all the feedback from the community, he made it into a deeper game than what he thought it was looking to, and then redid Dice United based on what he learned from making Stone Cold Hockey.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
So
the Stone Cold Hockey, I remember he sent it to us, the PDF, print version, and you and I played a period
here on our Friday night.
Friday night, just me and him offline playing this game, and we played the first period and looked at each other and says, "Wow, this was really bad." It's like this game didn't do a thing. It doesn't feel like hockey. It's just And then we continued on. By the end of the game, we played the last two periods.
We knew that there was something there.
By the end of the game, we just had a bad first.
I think we had a scoreless first period.
Yeah, it was nothing going on in that period. But by the end of the game, we had some power plays, we had some goals, we had some penalties, we had some thrilling things at the end. And when we got done, it was like, okay.
I think we played 2 or 3 games that night. We
whizzed through. I think we did 3 or 4 games in an hour. That's how fast they play.
Yeah.
And so the Stone Cold Hockey come out of nowhere, and boy, I tell you, after that, I'm glad we stuck with it after that first period, because it was like, wow, this is really
talk
really
about
bad.
a bad first impression.
Yeah, it was a bad first impression, but we
stuck
with it.
Don't pick your teeth when you look a girl in the eye, okay? That's just
yeah. Let's see. SJ Walk says, would play Tennis Con. I think it gets released for real.
I thought it was out.
I picked that up. I still haven't played it yet. I just haven't had a chance to.
Our Red Sox fans done a few videos on it.
Yeah, a lot of people played it and really liked it. I bought it, and I just haven't done anything with it yet. It's another one of those games that it's in the pile of I will get to as soon as I can.
Another game I could thought of that came out in the last couple of years, Fast Drive Football. Al Wilson's Fast Drive.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's another good one. Yep, and he's revamping some of those older seasons too. So. That's real. Fast Drive Football is another good one. Yeah. And that's the thing is that, when I kind of jumped into this community, 5 years ago, whatever it was.
It'll be 5 years this fall. Yeah.
Cause I'm trying to think, cause I started playing, like I said, I was playing the, what do they call those? The,
you did the mogul games, right?
The mogul games. Yes. Baseball mogul, football mogul. That's where I got started. Then I went over to Action PC, couldn't figure it out. And you helped me out. And then from there, I get into the cards and dice. So I'm really fairly new at this. So I get excited when I see new games come out. Because for me, there's some games that you guys have been playing for years, and they're still brand new to me. So they're still, shiny, squeaky new, So I enjoyed that as well. Let me see. LK says, good chat. I've been organizing my old APA cards. Tip, never create draft leagues and I'll put the cards in the envelope. Yeah. Yeah, especially the older APA cards, so they don't have the teams on there. I know Tebow sent me the original 78 set, okay, of APA cards. And those are the ones that don't have no date, no team or anything. And I was laying them out, and most of them were in order, and I dropped them. I dropped a stack of them, and they went, and I'm like, oh. So I had to go card by card and look at the list to see what teams they're on. And I was just like, oh, my God. That's what the new cards are great. Team and date.
Team and date, yeah.
Now, if you drop them on the ground like I did, you don't get confused.
Remember when computers were programmed by punch cards?
I remember that
right
back in the day.
But you get a stack of 300 or 400, and then you have to run in order. And so about the first time you dropped one and had to go through and do exactly that, people realized that there's like a magic marker to the top and put lines through there. If you could figure out where the lines were, you could pretty much figure out where the order was for the program.
See, what does Mo have to say here? Mo, that's a pretty cool profile picture there, by the way, too. There.
Yeah. Rock me days.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. No, you never. Yeah, I mean, it's all nice to own. I have every Action PC season from 1901 on in baseball. You'll never use them all. You'll never use them all, but they're there. They're there.
Yeah, but it is nice when you have a whole bunch to choose from. It really is. But at the same time, it is nice to still not have some, because then it gives you a reason to buy some.
Yes.
It's always nice having something come in. You don't want to buy like 100 seasons at once. You want to buy 3 or 4 at a time. That way, it's kind of like when they tell you when you're giving dogs treats, don't give dog the whole piece of bacon. Break off a piece and give it to the dog 6 or 7 times, because he's going to think you gave him 6 or 7 pieces of bacon. He's not going to think you gave him the big piece of bacon. You know what I mean? That counts as 1. Okay. And if you break it into 7 pieces, that counts as 7 now. So it's the same thing. You want to, you don't want to buy them all at once. You want to have them in little bits coming in. So it feels like that you're getting stuff all over again. It's really kind of great. And let's see, don't mind me. All my Apple cards are 20 plus years old. I had to go buy the copyright date on the bottom of the card and use the raw baseball. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Zach card handbook is in PDF form now. So if you ever have the case that you have older cards and they get dropped on the floor, you can figure out where they are by where the 12 is on the card.
Yeah.
And that's all listed in there.
Going back to the community thing, though, Ron Emk, I hope I'm saying his name correctly. I've been watching a lot of his Apple Golf videos, and he has a pretty cool score sheet that I couldn't find anywhere. So I sent him a message on YouTube. I says, "Hey, cool score sheet. Think I could get it?" And he said, "Email me." I emailed him, and like a half hour later, he sent them to me. So it's nice that people do. And his video was a year or 2 old too. It wasn't like he just did it, So, but he still stays on top of that, and that was great that he did that. That was kind of cool that he did that. Baseball mogul guy, he goes, "I didn't know you got started with the mogul games. My dad got me started on baseball.
Nice.
2003. Yeah, my story, baseball mogul guy. And I'm sticking to it, is I went to PAX East in Boston probably 10, maybe 12 years ago. I forget when I went. One of the first ones we went to, I think it was at the Pru. The first year was at the Pru, I think, and it was so big, then they moved it to the convention center. But while I was there was people playing a cards and dice football game, and I'm there for video games because at the time I was only doing video games.
Right.
And I stopped. I said, "What is this?" And they were from Connecticut. And they're like, "Yeah, it's a cards and dice football game." I don't remember what it was at the time or if it's still there. But I said, "We do have a PC football game, and we're giving away copies of last year's edition if you'd like. Just go to our Facebook page and download the code on Steam." No, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Steam. Maybe it was just regular. I forget what it was.
Regular. I don't think that's ever been on Steam.
Okay, so I went home and just went to their website and downloaded the game for free. And I remember it was Football Mogul was the first one. Maybe it was 2015. I forget what one it was. And I was like, "Holy cow, I can play the 76 Patriots against the 76 Raiders or any season I want." I thought that was the coolest thing. And that's how I started. That's how I started playing, because I was, a video game guy. You could only play the current season. And you can play Madden, 92, Madden 92, and play the 91, 92 teams, but you can't play any earlier than that. So I found a game I could play, old games, and I was like, "Holy cow, this is great!" And it was easy. The mogul games are easy; they were fun. Since then I got the baseball game and a whole bit, but I started with the mogul games way back in the day. Then I was like, "Okay, I want something a little bit more," and that's when I discovered Action PC. And I remember downloading that, and I couldn't figure that out for the life of me. I couldn't even figure out how to set myself to play as a team. And then I don't know if it was I was watching you or somebody else, or I finally read the instruction that said, change
football at lunch. Yeah.
Change C to H. And it's going to go from computer to human, because I didn't even figure that out. And I was just like, "Man, this is the stupidest game. I can't even figure out how to play it." And then I was like, I didn't change it to human. And once I did that, then I was off and running. I still suck at it. So bad. But it is what it is. I still play and enjoy it. I'm just terrible at it. And Andrew says, "Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw you post that earlier. You just bought the Action PC Baseball 1890s. That was pretty cool." Who was posted in this? Somebody was posted in the Discord today. And this is why you should be a Patreon and get in Discord. We have some great discussions in Discord.
Yes,
we really do. And they were talking about the 1869 Cincinnati Red Stockings. and they were winning games by 30 runs. And that's when baseball first started.
Right.
So they probably didn't even have gloves or anything, and it was very raw baseball. But
7 balls and 4 strikes, and
yeah, they were crushing. I wonder how long it took to play a game. If you're winning games 81-10,
yeah, but there was no TV, so I'm sure they were played in an hour and a half.
maybe. I mean, that's that. You got to figure that's 81 people just crossed the plate.
I'm still
you're
blown
still going to
away.
get 27 outs, and I would imagine that there's people left on base some of those things. So if you do the math, you get 80 runs, and there's 30 batters. That's 110 plus spare, but that might be 130 at bats. How can you quickly get you to
You're
that?
not going through that fast, yeah. I'm still blown away from when we talked to Mr. Hetrick that players from the 1890s thought hitting a ball out of the park was quote unquote sissified. I mean, that's the very modern genesis of baseball is how hard and how far can you hit it?
Yeah,
Nope.
imagine like the 3-point back in the day, people frowning on that in basketball.
Yeah.
3-point shot. That's kind of
Sorry,
what that is like. Yeah, right.
Your championships are fronted.
Mo says the more you can choose, the better. But life is also happening, not just gaming, so it's hard to get it all. It is. I get it.
Yep.
But we do the best we can. We try to we try to have fun the best we can. And again, this is my hobby. This is what I enjoy doing, the podcast, doing the videos. So I like to buy games, I like to get new seasons. I like to keep the channel fresh. And that's one of the downsides of doing, a channel or a podcast is because you can't just play one game or one season. You got to keep it fresh. You don't want to me come on. What'd you play this week? Oh, I played more game X, and that's it. As much as I like to, it gets boring after a while. I used to get yelled at when we did the video game podcast because I remember I got stuck on Skyrim, which was 2011. I think Skyrim came out 11/11/11. I think it was, and I played Skyrim from November to March and nothing else. Yeah, I played that for 4 months, and we would do the weekly video game show. So what have you been playing?
Skyrim.
They didn't even ask me anymore. By the time February came around, they said, we're not even going to ask you that question. And they're like, you got to do something besides Skyrim. I said, I don't want to. This game is just so good. And I says, I'm not going to go and drop, $60 a week just to buy a new game to talk about it. Yes, that's not what I'm going to do here. So it's kind of hard. So eventually I had to get off of that and play something else, LK stopping by tonight. But the one thing I noticed is how up until the 90s, most baseball seasons were 20 players per team. I was fortunate enough to buy the extra players for his 85 season. That is kind of the keys, depending on which game you're playing, the Strat, the APA, season ticket, payoff pitch, inside, all the different games that we play, Status Pro, some card everybody and some don't.
Oh,
and
no. Back in the 80s, it was 20 per team for both Strat and APA. I think Strat finally went to 25 in the mid 80s. And I think, I don't know when APA started to introduce the XBs and the XCs, but they finally both introduced extra players when people really started to do as played. I mean, we didn't have the resources then that we do now for all this stuff.
Yeah, you want to do a season replay.
Right.
And I really enjoy the games that have everybody carded. I mean, I'm a little spoiled with that now, and it's not a necessity, but when I sit down and play a game, I like to go with a game that has everybody, whether that's baseball or hockey or whatever it is, because it does kind of stink when you sit down, you set up a game, and you're like, oh, where's this guy? Yeah, oh, he only played a handful of games, so he's not here. There was somebody I saw on YouTube, and they were playing hockey, and they had backup goalie night. And it was kind of neat that they wouldn't play the number one goalie. They would play the backup and play a game. And I thought that was kind of cool. And I think I did that one time. I think I played Milosh. Gilles Milosh actually played for the Blackhawks for 1 or 2 games. And I got him in a game. I think it was APA. They carded him with only a couple of games in APA. So I played him. It was kind of fun. You play a guy that doesn't normally play and see how it goes. That was kind of neat. Let me see here. Michael Peterson, I play Status Pro with Digital Diamond. Yes, I've been doing that. That is so fun. It is. LK says Digital Diamond has been one of the biggest game changers in the last year. Yes, I mean version 10 was good enough, but version 11, I can't make an 11. The addition of Status Pro
and
some of the things that they've done, I mean, it is just nuts what Mark has done over there with Digital Diamond. So
It is as revolutionary as Richard Hanna's first releases.
I mean, you got that companion, which is unbelievable. And not only that, it comes with all the seasons pretty much. And if it doesn't have a season, there's a file that you can load in to play
Yeah,
that
the
season.
Layman database, you
Yeah,
can
the
import
Layman
it and
database.
create the season.
Now, you might not get exact as played lineups because you're going way back there, and they probably don't even have those records for that. But I mean, at least you can play the season.
And it will create the status pro cards for any season you import.
Yeah. Now, is that completely insane?
That's incredible.
That you can play status pro with anything. That is really, really kind of cool. SJ, I was talking to a friend who loved to play Cadeco All-Star Baseball. Wonder if anybody still makes those discs for the spinners. That was his first baseball game. Then he left it out in a thunderstorm. And I bet
One of a kind love affair. Oh, not that spinner. I've seen some discs for him. I think they were making them as late as the 80s because the MLBPA was okaying them, but I never played it.
I remember the spinner games back in the day. We used to play a lot of them. I don't know if I had baseball or not, but I had some spinner games.
But you know, you'd spin the discs were kind of calibrated for percentages. Yeah, and but if your spinner kind of stopped on the line, what was it? Was it the home run or the strikeout?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that would be some arguments between kids.
Yep. So you'd have to either spin again or whatever
it's
it is.
It's a foul ball. It's a home run.
LK's his first computer sports game, Micro League Baseball. Ron talks about Micro League Baseball all the time. John Madden Football, Apple IIe. Dr. J versus Larry Bird. I had Dr. J versus
Larry Bird. I had the Jordan versus Bird, yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think I still have it. And I don't know. I must have had it for an old computer. I don't know if you can still play those anyway, but that used to be fun.
Sure, you could probably find it and use a DOSBox for it.
Probably, yeah. And then he says the Lance Hafner half-court basketball and football
Now,
games.
someone is converting those Hafner games into full-blown Windows games.
Oh, really?
And the community keeps making seasons for them. They're not. I'm not sure if Lance has finally given the okay for that, but check some Facebook groups if you belong to Facebook group, and you can find some of this stuff.
Nice. I didn't play the Micro League, but
me and my best friend from that school, we played a ton out of that.
Yeah, you were saying that. He's a baseball mogul guy. I've been wanting to get a table talk baseball game. What cards and dice baseball game would you recommend for a beginner?
Pocket Pennant, APBA.
Pocket Pennant Run
would be.
I think it's like $20 or $25. Comes with all the seasons, but you don't get cards per se. You can buy a printed version and get a couple of teams, but the idea behind that is that you print out the teams. The software is unbelievable. In fact, they just updated the software, so you can go to any season, load in the teams, and print them out. And I think you can print them out in Excel, which gives you
their spreadsheet. Yeah, you can
every player on the team, and then there's a PDF version of a card image that you can print out that gives you X amount of players on that team. I think there's one for pitchers and then one for the fielders and batters, so to speak. So Pocket Pennant Run is a good one to get going. That's very inexpensive.
And if you like that, APBA for the year you turn 14.
Yeah, APBA baseball is pretty good because that's a pretty straightforward game. It plays quick. It's easy to play.
As far as pure cards and dice are concerned, there's hit and misses in a lot of games for seasons.
Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for something simple, Pocket Pennant Run, and APBA. Also, maybe Back to Basics from Downey. It's a fast action card game. And so what you do is you flip the card and it tells you. So you look at the pitcher's rating first, and it'll say like a strikeout A and B. So if the pitcher's an A or a B, you get a strikeout. Or it'll say like walk ABC, or it'll say like swing, and then you would check the batter's ratings to see what happens on that. But you get every season with Back to Basics up to 2014 or 15, I think. You just got to go to the website and print out what you need. I think I downloaded everything, so I have it all.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of printing out the teams that you want. Obviously, you're not going to print out 100 years of baseball teams, but you can print out any couple of teams you want to play. So Back to Basics, I found that to be fairly easy. Not as easy as Pocket Pennant or what's What's the other one that we just talked about? Appa Basic.
Appa Basic, they just
Yeah,
have every season available. I mean, Strat does well with the computer replay. If you want to get into that, all season ticket,
Yeah.
lots of good options out there.
Stratomatic Basic, like VL says, Stratomatic Basic is not bad. Appa's a little simpler, I think, because it's straightforward. It tells you here's what the results are. That's it. There's no checking anything else.
Strat gives you a little more variety in the results,
Yeah.
but Appa is a very
Yep.
fast learner.
And then Strat, you can bump it up to advanced and super advanced if you like, So that is that with there. Digital Diamond is kind of fun to play as well. That's a computer. Oh, he said cards and dice.
You specifically said cards and dice.
But you could play Status Pro. Status Pro baseball right in Digital Diamond too. So it's a cards and dice right on there, and you print out all the charts and everything. So you it'll flip the card, but you still got to play it. So you're still kind of doing the cards and dice thing. So you just got to figure out what it is. And Mo says almost all the basic games are pretty good and most are easy. I would say that. Yeah, I think there's some that are definitely more complex than others, and there's a few that I wouldn't start off with. But it all depends on what you want. I mean, sometimes you start off with the basic stuff, and then you're like, geez, I want a little bit more. And so then you find a game that's a little bit more complex that gives you a little bit more. So it all depends on what you like. VL says, basically before 1894, the game is completely different. I don't even sim before that. Yeah, I can see that. That's a good point, actually. Because I like to play the ridiculous seasons, but yeah, why bother if it's going to be that ridiculous,
Right.
No, you don't. Modine says, I have too many games. No, you don't. I don't either. Neither one of us has too many games.
No, not at all.
Let's just clarify that.
That's why I have a 2 terabyte hard drive now.
And LK says he'd recommend Stratomatic, although
there really isn't anything wrong with any of that. Depends on how familiar you are with baseball.
The season ticket is fun, and you can play that for free. You can go to season ticket baseball up, and you can buy I think a season ticket baseball game, and you can download the game and a couple of teams for
four
free.
Teams, right?
I think it's 8. I think there's 2 different seasons with 4 teams in each season.
Okay, because I know the 75 World Series and 86 World Series were included in the.
I think they got the final 4 in each.
Okay.
I think. And that's how I did it. And I played it. And there's a basic mode of that too, which is real basic and real fun. And then you can start adding a lot of things in, like pickoffs and stuff like that. And it walks you through all the steps. Season ticket is just really fun as well. ID still with us, and you guys inspired me to try some new things. Ordered 2 basketball games in pro wrestling. Okay, now we have to know what they are. We have to know what they are. You can't leave us hanging. You can't leave us hanging. We got to know what they are before we sign off. Everett stopping by. Have to buy more games for research purposes. That's what I say. We have to buy these games so we can play these here on YouTube and show them off and compare them to other games, because that is super important. It is. It's a science.
It's science. Yes.
Science.
So
I was at the gym yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, I was at the gym yesterday, and I have like everything I've ever had for music on my iPhone and the iTunes. And that song come up, Blinded Me by Science.
Oh, I saw that you had posted that, yeah.
It's like, I haven't heard this in forever. And I'm sitting there like, science.
We found an iTunes card cleaning out some stuff in here from 2009.
Oh, wow.
We got ditched. I wasn't downloading any software to put that on. We have other music services that get our money for that. It's like, no, I'm not buying any singles. Thank you.
Just send it to me. I would have used it.
Okay, you're scammer.
That's how it is. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we're spoiled now having all the players. Yeah, I agree that once you play a game with all the players, it kind of wrecks a little bit some of the games that don't have all the players. He played a random 1941 baseball game with Appa. There were 2 players that didn't have cards, even with extra cards. Sometimes they don't quite have everybody. I actually did when I bought my Appa baseball season. I actually went to Baseball Reference and tried to look to see how many players played, and then I looked to see what Appa offered. And for all the 70s seasons and 80s, you were pretty good mostly, but then after a while they capped it at 900, and so. If you got a season with more than 900, then you're...
Yeah, that's 30 per team.
Yeah.
Now, Strat has the mobile app that has every card they've ever printed. I don't know how much that is per year or whatever for that, but so if you had the cards, and then you get someone like a Dave Gardner at the plate, you could look up his card.
That is, I do like that they do that.
I've seen some of the images because that's how the Strat Baseball 365. It looks like a card, as opposed to the computer game, which doesn't look like a card once you hit.
Right. Okay, baseball apps for Stratomatic. Let's take a look at that right here. It's $5 a month for the baseball card viewer, or $50 a year. So that kind of,
And that's pretty good because you could. It literally is every card that they've ever made.
yeah. No, I do like that they offer that, so you can at least call it up on the phone if you have to,
Right.
Let me see. I love all the cards. I recall the original Strat 69 Mets cards. Lax DeLauro.
Jack DeLauro, reliever, but I believe that was they only did 20 cards per team. I don't know when they started selling the extra cards.
Yeah, that I don't.
When the first year I bought Strat was for the 90 season, and that came with 25, and I guess that was a relatively at that point recent.
LK says, seeing this revival of Status Pro has made me more bummed that I sold or lost his Status Pro games at a garage sale. Oh yeah.
Now there's Byron sells homemade Status Pro cards for all 4 sports, and you can find him over on Delphi if you prefer to do it that way. And I believe some of those have pictures on them,
and they're not that expensive either.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Let's see. Mo says, but baseball is good as well. I play basic. Just can't get my head around if a home run is a hit. Nothing any pitcher can do.
It is unusual, and that's kind of a flaw in Status Pro too. That a pitcher can't stop anyone from hitting a home run directly. All the pitcher's card does is give up hits. But
yeah,
I find it really playable.
Yep, I just like the Appa Basic, and I like the Status Pro there.
Yeah.
So I mean, every game's got its little quirks in there. It just happens, And Frank says, "Do we remember Monday Night Talking Football?" Absolutely. He gains 5. He gains 9. Out of bounds.
You know who did the records for that?
Was it Costas?
No, it was Dick Enberg. It was Dick Enberg.
Dick Enberg, yeah, I knew it was one of those guys. I just remember like the batteries would keep dying, so I'd be like, he gained 4. It's a quick kick. No, it's a fake. It's incomplete. I like all that stuff there. That was I remember a lot of the sayings. I really do.
Absolutely.
There's a website. There's a website you can play that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Somebody I found that about a year or so ago. I couldn't get it to work very well, but you would grab the disc and drop it in and spin it and play it, and it would play the MP file for you.
Wow.
Or the sound file. Yeah. Somebody did. I don't know if it's still up or not, but somebody managed to go and grab all the sound files.
I remember years ago just looking up electric football and finding
that's huge.
Finding the tournaments that people still play electric football and actually watching someone complete a pass.
I could never figure out how to complete a pass.
No, neither could I.
So we just let them run and that was it. We played 5 minutes and we were done with that. And he says he played his first game as I know he couldn't choose to steal. But that's the one thing about Appa is that the base stealing is automatic. I played a whole bunch of games of Appa Basic, and I thought I would miss that, but it's kind of baked in, and it happens when it happens, and it's just it's all kind of part of the stats. And I love to bunt and steal. So when I play games, like Strat or Season Ticket or whatever other game I play, I do a lot of running and
you
bunting.
Should try the game Dead Ball, which is the basis for where Pocket Pennant Run came from, because that really is your style of baseball is run production.
ID says LK Moti, you can always play a Master Edition of app, but there is actually I have a it's over in the closet there, but I have a sheet that shows you how you can do your own stealing, and that's all I do. I don't play Master Appa, but I do have the optional stealing thing there that uses the Master rating. So I have used that from time to time. So if you really want to, there is a way, and there is a sheet out there that shows you how you can do your manual stealing. I get how frustrating that can be, but I enjoy just letting the game play out Appa Basic is so easy. It just plays out, and I don't have to really get that involved in it, and I can just enjoy the game. And I'm not, and I'm kind of coaching both teams, but I'm not coaching both teams at the same time. If you follow that, I'll play back or I'll bunt, but when it comes to the stealing and the stuff like that, I kind of let the game handle that, and I get my enjoyment out of that. LK says I have still not quite completed a game of that. I don't think the record player works. Yeah, I would imagine not. Yes, you can blend the master steel sheet. Yep.
So maybe we could get a master vinyl of that Monday Night Football game, since everything is going back to vinyl.
I should see if I could find that. Maybe we could play that. That'd be hysterical.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to buy the master edition. You just have to get
the modern cards, right?
Yeah, you just have to get the
There's a booklet, or
there was a sheet. Somebody had a sheet. I don't know if it was demos or if it was Chris that had that sheet and was playing with it. And it showed you how to steal. It was just a spreadsheet or a PDF. It just said, if this, then you can steal. If that, you can steal it. This is how you get your jumps. How you get your, whatever. So, and SJ Walk. Yeah, yes, we got Monday Night Talking Football for Christmas one year. It was fun, but only a few play outcomes, and we eventually memorized them all. Yeah, there wasn't many on there, but yeah.
It didn't talk, but I had a football game that had cardboard slides, like a Rolodex.
Okay.
And so you'd select run, pass, or kick, and they would spin. And when you hit the button for the play, it would stop, and it would show you a blurred out picture of a player, maybe a college game, because those weren't copyrighted, and it would tell you the play result. You moved the slide and figured out how it was. And when the battery started to die, this was about the same time that those Mattel games that we all had as kids came out. But this had actual color pictures. It was all mechanical. But when the battery started to die, we had to have a house rule that you couldn't kick, an 80-yard field goal, because
yeah. Modine has a way of checking
There's
out.
There's lots of good mods for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you need a fast action deck to play this current edition of Status Pro? Well, I only play it in Digital Diamond, so I don't need anything.
The fast action cards come with that.
They come with that. But
if you bought the card copy game, then yeah, you can still buy. You can download them actually over at Tabletop Sports, I think, has them, or just Byron will sell you a set too. So,
NPNG Plus, a little more complicated than Apple, but it's free.
That has rules for hits on splits, so lefty or righty. And it's all free.
Yeah.
Be prepared to have your printer go on strike after.
Yeah, get a lot of printing.
But it is all free.
Yeah. ID says, how many games you need? Just
one more.
Is the correct answer. It was kind of like lobster. I remember I had a friend of mine that said, one lobster's plenty, 3 ain't enough. It's just how lobsters. If you get your hands on a lobster, it was so good. But if you could get a lot of lobster, then 3 wasn't enough. You just kept eating it.
Wow. All right, I'll let you go.
I'm gonna jump out here. I just wanted to jump on real quick, and next thing you know, we're chatting here. We'll just reel off the last few here. Let me see here. Is Cinco de Mayo? Where's my sombrero, Dave? Well, I got my Shane Falco shirt on as part of the replacement.
I celebrated Cinco de Mayo with a taco salad from Wendy's.
Oh yeah, I'm going tomorrow night. We're meeting some friends tomorrow night, and we're gonna go out and have some Mexican tomorrow night. So that should be that. But anyway, there. So thanks everybody that came into the show. We have a ton more comments here. Oh boy, I missed all these here, but we gotta
go through.
But Ron's getting hungry. Ron hasn't. Well, we've been on here for what? Ron's been on a half hour. He's probably starving by now. Ron, you're kind of pale over there. We need to get something in you, like a hot dog or something. Big Pablo, thanks for coming by. I remember some of the exact wording from Talking Football. We all do. We all remember something. I like the 95-yard TD with a wide receiver open the end zone. Touchdown. Yep. That was some good stuff there. So thanks everybody that came by. Alpa Golf today? No, Monday. I just got the tracking. It's coming in Monday. But if you missed the beginning of the show and kind of why we did this the show here tonight, or I talked about community, was last night while I was watching the hockey game. ID Jester, who's in the chat right now, was
Go
streaming
Panthers.
APA for me. He was showing, how to get started in it. And he didn't have to do that, but he did that because he knew I was getting the game in. And when I got done, Gilles Tebow had just uploaded a video for me, directed at me for APA Golf as well. And while I was watching the videos that people were doing for me, somebody sent me a message on the Dice line and said, hey, I noticed you're playing APA Golf. I'd like to send you what I have for APA Golf because I don't play it anymore. And I just want to say this is my way of saying thank you for all the videos you've done. And I was just pretty humbled by all that.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. And then, ID sent me some emails and explained about how the golf cards work. And I was like, stuff I wouldn't think of. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's going to make it so fun to play. And then Ron Emch, I sent him an email. He sent me some score sheets. So the community has really been working on high this week, for me, which is nice, it's, like I say, it's nice that, I've tried to give, but when you get back, it's kind of cool too. You don't really think of it that way, but it is kind of neat. And that is that. Mo says he likes ASG over APA Golf. They're pretty close. They're pretty close from what I understand. So we'll try. I have the ASG on the computer, and so we'll try the APA on the tabletop and see how it goes.
Congrats on your crazy World Series, Steve.
Steve Tower. You haven't checked it out. Check out Steve Tower's video that I think he did Wednesday night, Game 7 World Series. Season ticket baseball. If you ever wonder how good season ticket baseball is, go check out that game that he did.
Classic.
It was an instant classic. And you watch it and you're like, there's no way it's going to end like this. And it
it does.
It did. And it was really, really cool. So I think I watched the whole thing that night. I had that on while I was doing some other things. And I couldn't believe that that's kind of how it wrapped up, but that was that. But anyway, I'm Dave here, and Ron kind of joined me here as we talk a little bit about the community there, and just
absolutely, you guys are great.
Everyone's kind of working together here, and it's really nice that that we get to help out, but then people reciprocate for us in other ways, and it's pretty amazing. And so the community is really good, and we just need to keep that going.
Absolutely.
What we need to do. And so so we should have a show. Oh geez, today's Friday already, right?
Right.
Friday, right?
So we released the interview.
Yeah, we had another interview this week.
Who was in the chat tonight, by the way?
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah. So next week you and I will actually talk about what we're playing.
Yeah, we had the APA on last Saturday, and then Wednesday night. Wednesday this week we dropped the interview with Steve Walker about the 69 Washington Nationals, right?
Senators.
Yes. That's right. It was the Senators, not the Nationals. That was such a story.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. In fact, I was talking to ST Patrick. Hang on, I gotta check it out here. I'm sorry, J. Thomas Hetrick. I get my authors mixed up sometimes. Misfits, baseball's worst team ever. We've been talking on email, and he said he watched the interview and he enjoyed it. But what I like about talking to authors is I learn so much about what they're talking
always so excited about what they do, even if it's not gaming. When we talked to the guy that did the WHA handbook, he was stunned that people would actually do this. And so, yeah.
And I had no idea about the 69 Senators. Didn't know anything about them. I didn't know that they left and they put in a new team. I learned all of that with the interview. And now, of course, I need to go play 1969 Washington Senators. Thank you so much, Stephen, for making me go buy another season. Just this will be my last season. Season I buy. Right, ID?
Okay, Pinocchio, your nose is growing.
Right. So anyway, hey folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. And we'll have a show out for you next week. And we still got some more guests coming up. We do.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably do a couple of normal shows and get back to the guests. But and then we kind of teased our 4-year anniversary, beginning of year 5 in our Patreon video. So we'll talk more about that coming up too. So anyway, I'm Dave.
I'm Ron.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.